Windows XP. You can smell that green grass just by watching its wallpaper and hear the error messages. So many childhood memories. In today's video, we will try to learn about the history of Windows XP. Windows XP is a significant release of Microsoft's Windows NT operating system. Microsoft wanted to leave MS-DOS-based roots behind. It incorporated a brand new kernel and other technologies, making it very stable and reliable. At first, NT proved hardware-intensive to run well on the typical consumer PC, so Microsoft aimed it at the professional and server markets. In 2000, Microsoft knew its next consumer OS would need to finally take up the NT mantle. For both Microsoft and computer users, its release marked a new beginning. It introduced the more stable Windows NT kernel to home users for the very first time. Windows XP was short for Experience.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace.
Development of Windows XP began in the late 1990s under the codename Neptune. Neptune was the next consumer release, while another project, Odyssey, was the next business release. But, in January 2000, both projects were scrapped in favor of a single OS codenamed Whistler. It was released to manufacturing on August 24, 2001, and later to retail on October 25, 2001.
So, what pieces have we thrown out here? Well, in fact, in a sense, this is the end of an era. Microsoft and the original PC rose to prominence based on the MS-DOS products. And even as Windows came along, Windows 3.1, Windows 95, Windows 98, underneath, MS-DOS was running there. Windows simply sat on top of MS-DOS. Well, so today, it really is actually the end of the MS-DOS era. It's also, we would say, the end of the Windows 95 era. That was the most important Windows milestone up to this day. And even when we did that launch, we talked about that the Windows 95 era would come to an end. Let me show you a little clip from the Windows 95 launch. I get interviewed a lot. People say, well, you know, isn't this a huge problem between you and Apple, that you've got this Windows 95 thing? And I say, no, we're really coming together, because until today, only Apple thought Windows 3.1 was a crummy operating system. And now we agree Windows 3.1 is a crummy operating system. And someday we'll say that about Windows 95, I'm afraid. But give us 2 or 3 years before we can figure out why we're going to have to say that. Well, it took more like 6 years, but certainly our users gave us a lot of reasons to say that Windows 95 simply isn't good enough. Well, let me herald the end of the DOS era here. I'll just simply type exit for the last time in MS-DOS.
Excuse me, Bill?
Yes, DOS?
Bill, I brought you the PC. I helped make Windows, and I'm running over 400 million PCs today. You aren't going to do this, are you, Bill?
Sorry, DOS. Well, that movie wasn't called 2001 for nothing.
Windows XP brought eye candy to Windows in a big way, marking the first significant departure from the classic grey Windows theme introduced in Windows 95. It introduced a new UI and a ton of under-the-hood changes. Because of this, Windows XP had a warm, welcoming energy, actually a little too welcoming for some people. Thanks to Luna's visual style, Windows XP defaulted to a colorful design that featured a blue taskbar with a green start button, blue window title bars, and bright red X buttons to close windows. The default XP desktop background image titled Bliss to tie in with the color scheme. Microsoft chose a photograph of former National Geographic photographer Charles Oriat took the photo near Napa Valley, California, in 1996. Upon its release, Windows XP received critical acclaim, noting increased performance and stability especially compared to Windows ME. Like any new version of Windows, XP upped the system requirements. Microsoft had to make sure people could enjoy the latest graphical effects and more complex system processes handling things in the XP required a 233 MHz or higher CPU, 64 MB of RAM, 1.5 GB of free hard disk space, and a video card that supported 800x600 resolution. But it had a new user interface, improved hardware support, and expanded multimedia capabilities. The reviews were not only overwhelmingly positive. Windows XP, in many respects, would prove to be in the long term one of Microsoft's most successful and beloved products in history. Aimed at consumers, Windows XP Home Edition sold for $199.99 for an upgrade version. And Windows XP Professional cost $299 or $199 if you upgraded from a previous professional version of Windows. Windows XP carried over an extensive array of games from Windows ME and other previous versions of Windows. It included classic games like Solitaire, Minesweeper, and FreeCell, and more recent additions to the Windows gaming pantheon like Spider Solitaire, Hearts, and 3D Pinball, Space Cadet. XP also shipped with 4 online multiplayer games launched initially with Windows ME, Internet Backgammon, Internet Checkers, Internet Hearts, Internet Reverse, and Internet Spades. Players would be matched up automatically with other Windows gamers through servers run by Zone.com when playing the Internet-enabled games. Even though Windows XP ran on Windows NT architecture, it maintained backward compatibility with previous Win32 games for Windows 95 and 98 while paving the way for future gaming Windows experiences with robust DirectX support. Within 2 months of release, XP sold over 17 million copies, with sales speed exceeding those of Windows 95 and ME. That total grew to over 210 million by 2004. By 2014, Microsoft had sold over 1 billion physical copies of Windows XP. To this day, Windows XP still has 0.55% of the market share. It had 3 major updates and more minor updates to keep the Windows XP secure. Service Pack 2 was an essential update to the OS among these updates. You check this video from the Science Elf. Extended support ended on April 9, 2019. And Windows XP died. As of December 2021, Windows XP's market share on PCs, as a fraction of the total Windows share, has gone below 1% in most regions. The old updates for Windows XP are still available on the Microsoft Update Catalog. The longevity of Windows XP was seen as a shred of evidence of its stability and Microsoft's successful attempt to keep it up to date. But as time goes, it had to be replaced by something new. If you want to see more videos, do subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell icon. New videos are on their way. Till then, stay safe.